The world needs sacredness. It needs reminders of the perfection and the divinity within all things. And in a monastery, you get to live that all the time, morning, noon, and night. So the monks here grow our own food and milk our own cows and make our own lumber and do everything ourselves. You know, we don't have any wives or girlfriends to wash our clothes or take care of us, so we have to learn to take care of ourselves. And in a beautiful place like this, you can do that and always have a consciousness of God without losing track of the divine worlds. And it reminds me of Gurudeva's beautiful statement that the gardens here should be so lovely and so natural and so charming that people feel like they stepped into the Siva Loka, stepped into the divine sphere. So here we are in Rishi Valley. Gurudeva called it the Valley of the Sages. And we're landscaping here even more beautifully than the other part of the monastery, because we have a vision that the temple made out of white granite and golden towers is masculine and rigid and stable and strong. But the garden around it is feminine and soft and healing and malleable. And we need both in life. We need the masculine and the feminine. We need the strong and we need the fluid. And so without Shiva, then Shakti is incomplete. And without Shakti, Shiva is incomplete. So here we want both Shiva and Shakti in this garden of grace.
Such a beautiful balance that everyone feels intuitively. No one wants to leave this land here.
One of the sweet teachings that Hinduism has, of course, is that Shiva is the life in everything. We don't have God in heaven and man on earth dichotomy. God is in and of the earth. He's not separate from the earth. He's the life in the trees. He's the life in the lotuses behind us. He's the life in the grass under our feet. He's the life in the eyes of everyone that we meet. And that's how Hinduism looks at God. He's in and of everything. And if you have that consciousness, then it's fun to build a garden. Because you're basically working with Shivaness. And this plant is one form of Shiva and that plant's another form of Shiva. And so then the whole garden becomes a divine expression.
Tara, Divine Mother, your realm of the enlightened feminine in nature, support us like the mighty earth, bathe us like a celestial ocean, illumine us like an evening fire, refreshes us like a spring breeze. In the vastness of your infinite love, we find our way to fulfillment. In joyful abandon, we join hearts and dance. The dance is a mandala of praises, of beautiful energy. The deity is birthed out in dance, and so it's a supportive structure of energy where women are supporting women, passing light and joy and the voice to each other through praises, and a goddess is birthed from that. And if you're truly living in that moment, you are the goddess, and you are joy and laughter, or remover of sorrow, or any of the praises that you need to embrace at that point in time to truly transform energy. Chanting The Hindus believe in Shiva, the cosmic dancer. Tara is the feminine of the enlightened qualities of the mind in dance. And if you can really coach yourself, you can see all of life as a continual unfolding of dancing energy as joyfully as it can be anywhere.
To me, one of the beauties of the Tara dance is that it says you are full, you are complete, and we are here to help you realize that.
Yes.
So that to me is the great thing about the Tara dance. It says you are wonderful, you are complete, and realize that.
Yes.
You are full of everything you want, and it is up to you to have that realization to yourself and help others come to that realization. Mm-hmm. Instead of having the negative guilt and I'm lacking, there's always, the hungry ghost thing that I was talking about the other day.
Yes.
That to me is one of the beauties of the Tara practice, is like saying, you are beautiful, you are complete, you are everything that the world and you want as you are.
Yes, and I think so many people split that up. They say, well, it's nice to think that I'm whole and beautiful and capable and exuberant and gifted and all of that, but the reality is, and then they go back to the reality, and that.
But it's not enough to think.
No,
That's what
it isn't.
camp
You
is
have
about.
to practice. Yes.
And it's not enough just to practice. You have to know.
Yes.
You have to breathe. That is your life.
Yes.
That is who
you
everything you are, everybody is.
And
that
nature is actually,
a fulfillment of that.
Yes.
A reflection of that.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's actually the Hindu teaching too, Shiva Nataraja, the cosmic dancer, that everything is always in dance, coming and going, and the
ending and beginning.
Ending and beginning, and the whole thing is a meditation. It's not like there's there are segmented times.
Discontinuous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too that the teachings, the way they work
Yes, indeed.
in transforming energy slowly
Yep.
through time
No
is
question about
a
it.
major teaching in
Yep.
itself, you
Oh,
know. And I noticed too with the monastery, you know, they had a date in like 2012 when they said the temple was going to be finished. It's 2017, it's still going. The whole process is the teaching.
Yeah.
It's not that anything completes or ends anywhere. It's an ongoing process of transformation. And I don't know. I'm just so grateful to be in the present, to have you as a dear friend, Malia, and to have really enjoyed the Terra Dance, Terra Sisters for so long, which really keep dancing quality in my life all the time.
In actuality, there's a war going on. You see, this variegated hibiscus would like to take over.
Oh,
It would just as soon say, goodbye, Alamanda. I live here.
it's another of the invasive species, right? These
Well,
little
anything-
things.
Everything in your garden competes with everything else.
Yes.
Your back is to him.
Yes. It's that whole thing of nature overtaking nature. How, but so that's the real,
Struggle for survival.
the cause for a master gardener. But why can't diplomacy work as well as you do it? We would,
I think we should teach diplomacy.
yes.
This Alamanda has gone all the way up to the top here.
Wow.
And the bush behind it is Aphelandra. I don't think Aphelandra is very happy
Oh,
about having Alamanda use it like this.
oh. Yeah, you have such a good care of plants and what needs space and
I've just sort of debated about, you know, do I cut that Alamanda down or do I let it grow? It's a question of who I listen to, the Alamanda or the Aphelandra.
And plants always grow towards the light, don't they?
Yes, they certainly do.
I always see these beautiful flows between humans and creatures in nature and nature. I mean, it's really, everyone is seeking the same thing in a way, and
They're all in competition.
yeah, they're all in competition too. That's the part that needs discipline, control. know, there's so many creation stories in Africa and
Yes.
different parts of the world about the earth coming.
The world being
Out of-
held on
yes.
the back of a turtle.
Yes.
Well, now he's holding a couple of bromeliads instead.
Yeah. He's laughing too, that turtle. Oh, coming to my favorite deity.
Right.
You know, when I first came to work with you here, I really noticed the expressions you've selected on the sculptures of the deities. There's a piece that goes way beyond the physical image. It's so beautiful. I love that.
She's very beautiful.
She's stunning. She looks completely at ease there in nature.
I learned this word when I was in Bali. It's called taksu. And one of my mentors in Bali taught me the word. It's a word that means the artist step back, let the spirit work through him, and he created this work of art. And then looked at it and was amazed that he created it because he had no conscious awareness that he was creating it. It unfolded. And when a piece of art is created in that way, the Balinese call it taksu, because people that look at that piece of art will feel it, it'll move their soul, their heart, and they'll feel the specialness of that statue. And that's called taksu. So I use that in my deciding which statue to buy. I pick out the ones that move me, and my son does the same thing. He travels and he picks out the statues that move him. So we pick out the best that we can find and bring in the garden ponds on all different price levels.
You know, that's such a principle in the arts. I remember in art school, you know, the meditative ability to see the true essence and resonate with it is so important in the arts. Unless you really allow the presence of the essence of things to come to you, it's kind of like Iolani's hula. You know, that she was really, they said a flame just went through her body, and that was her hula. And I read a quote the other day from Rabindranath Tagore, the Indian poet. He said something like, "We are all instruments in the great concert of the universe." And I feel like there is a beautiful concerted energy that is moving all of us all the time.
This here is the sacred China lotus that we have a first day blossom today, and it touched my soul the first time I had one bloom in my nursery 22 years ago, my first blossom. And I took a picture of it, and it's been on my business card ever since. And actually I lost this rootstock for almost 10 years and just got it back. And I'm so excited because this rootstock is from the original valley in China where they believe it started, and it's over 120 million years old. And my mentor, Betsy Sakata, sent someone there to bring back this rootstock, not from seed, but from rootstock. And we've propagated it, and this is it blooming today. So I'm so excited to have it blooming here and for you to be here today on this auspicious day. And I'm a steward of that. I was touched by water lilies and lotuses, and I've been sharing that with the island for 22 years now. And I'm still as excited and passionate about it today as I was when I saw my first lotus blossom and my first water lily blossom. Well, nature is amazing.
Yes.
And the more we put into our gardens, the more they give back to us. And it's that in and out that occurs. It's so amazing.
Yes.
And it brings so much joy to my life.
And I'm so glad you guys are here because it's good for the elders to work with youth, to inspire, bring in new energy, recognize all that needs to unfold and encourage you. You know, it's not always easy to live life, is it?
No, it's not.
So we all need encouragement. Let's walk around Ganesha once, and then we'll give our offering. You know, Ganesha is the remover of obstacles on the spiritual path to the Hindus. So if you start any project in the arts, you always ask Ganesha to clear the path. So we can make our offerings here. I brought a big yellow leaf because I have a name in Vani, which means Saraswati, goddess of Saraswati. In fact, I have one of her, I'll show you later. But it's the name for culture, the arts and education and sound. You know, whenever a lot of monks or male embodiments open anything, they pray to the feminine, because the feminine opens all of space for the activity, for the men to act out what they need to. That's kind of a principle running through all the Asian world. So when people think they see men doing all these things and there are no women, I never worry, because the feminine is invisibly always present. So I'm going to offer my yellow leaf to Ganesha and a red one. In the Tara dance, the colors red and yellow are for bliss and joy. Here we go. Jai Ganesha, that means carry on, Ganesha. Do your work. You know, you're our little scout here walking in the forest, so I'm gonna pass you a tea leaf, which is a sign of friendliness in the Hawaiian culture. So many people use tea leaves as borders so that energy stays harmonious on the land. Wow, look at these roots. These roots are like the Nepali coast, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're huge. Oh, I think I see a turtle in that one. See? Kind of.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah. Oh my goodness, these trees are so beautiful. This one here looks like it's a dancer. See the long arms going way up and holding the branches and the torso at the base? You can see so many wonderful forms in these trees. You know, if you really sit down with things, your mind goes everywhere. It's such a joy in the arts to have a free mind of exploring. Hold the height of the tree. It's so amazing. Okay, here we are doing aloha slippers. Stand on your paper and trace your foot. And you can trace the left foot for the feminine or the right foot for the masculine, or
Is it okay if it's dirty?
it's okay. We're going to have a little mud on it. You know, everything starts in mud. We all grow out of the mud. So it's okay if it has a little mud on it. That's a good thing. I'm doing a foot to the 4 directions that all children grow well, have food, fresh water to drink, and bathe in. What else can I ask for children to grow well?
Inspiration.
Inspiration, and that's why we're here, to be inspired in the arts. You know, the peacock is supposed to, I think it's the national bird of India, and it's all over the Asian world. It's supposed to remove poison and transform it into beauty because of the big tail that fans out. And I think that's what artists do. They take the tears of suffering and change it into something joyful. At least that's what the arts do for me. Moves my energy so that I don't stay stuck. Thing from West Africa. We used to say, you never know where your feet can take you. Your feet can take you everywhere and anywhere. And if you're kind to people, you don't care where your feet can take you because you know people will always be good to you. So it's always good to be kind because then your feet can walk anywhere. And not be afraid because you know you have a certain protection if you're really good to people. People are kind to you. So you can make your little, like I'm thinking as I'm sketching this that I walk a lot. So I'm hoping that my foot stays really lively so that I can keep walking a long way. So I'm putting flames into my foot to honor it and keep it going well. so gifted. Creative, 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 creative. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea luna noi au. O na mele. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai a. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea luna noi au. O na mele, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e, o na mea luna noi au, o na mele, e ho mai. E ho mai, e ho mai, yeah. Marungai. Oh, you can
Inside,
eat
yeah,
the
inside here is-
inside,
yeah.
but you don't eat the skin.
No, if you want to like this, can do. You cut. But if you want to take
It's good
this
for
one
soup,
here,
you know.
Oh, it's
Yes,
kind
that.
of like a.
like that.
Oh, I
See?
see. Yeah. Huh.
It's a good. good taste.
One
in
day
it.
when we normally don't because my stomach doesn't get. I think it's
we mix with the chicken.
Oh.
too chicken soup.
Ah.
It's good.
Oh, and what's this, Junie, up here?
This one we call cardis.
Ah.
When you open, there's the seed.
Ah. And how long do you have to cook those? Very long?
This one is not that long
No?
because it's tender.
Do you ever think of how people discovered all these things? I don't know, it's always amazing to me. When I was younger, I thought, you could reinvent the wheel, but all the knowing from the past and the... Oh, this one, this is bitter melon.
Bitter melon.
And this is really good for...
Your stomach.
Yeah, and I've noticed, I've heard people say it's so good for countering diabetes.
Yeah, you're right.
I love these the red plants, the red tea, the red ginger.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of a croton too, isn't it?
I think so.
There's so many different kinds of crotons.
Yeah, and they look so nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night, how after going to Limahuli Garden, the earth is so refined and so varied in all the plants. It's so amazing, all the different kinds of growth, it's really remarkable. Nature teaches me so much here on this island. I always feel like Kaua'i is really one of my best teachers ever, because you can learn so much about tending and caring and nurturing and natural growth, that if you work in harmony, it just flourishes.